Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Stud and Dud presented by the Dallas School of Music. Thank you for listening. I'm Josh Smith. With me each week, Dr. Bob Lawrence. Doc, what is up?
What is up?
Yeah, tell me. Come on, what's going up?
I'll tell you what's up.
Tell me.
SEC baseball right here on the big screen.
Got some conference going on, conference tournament, SEC tournament.
There's a lot up right now, Josh. A lot up.
A lot going on over at the Lawrence household, I heard.
Oh my gosh, we got it's torn up. I might be coming over and bunking up with you this week.
Really?
We're gonna bring all the kids.
Yeah, right. Do it. I got a big backyard. Add in with the all the dogs we got going on there. It'll be a fiesta.
It will be fun, man. So we may be there.
So good things going on though. Hopefully in the end, hey, you better invite me over to that pool when he gets in.
Hey, pool. That's
it. I'll get Gardner's number eventually, and I'll get in it and I'll start sending him pictures and soaking in it. Hopefully while he's up on the hill here in a couple of years, but that will be, hey man, just getting used to the pool.
Yeah, we got some burgers going.
Yeah, right. And one segment, Avery came up with this, and I thought it would be a good segment. I kind of thought about it, but what's up, Doc? Bugs Bunny, need to come up with a segment with what's up, Doc. Avery even pitched that to me, and I was like, that's a great idea for my wife.
Avery's got it going.
There you go. I saw John Wick 3. Have you seen the previews?
I have not.
You haven't seen the previews though, right? The
yes.
new movie
but I have not. Right.
Yeah. Have you seen any of them? I know they're kind of shoot 'em up, so I don't know if. Dude, they are great movies. A lot of blood going on, but they actually have good storylines. John Wick 3 is 3 times better than Avengers Endgame. It was even me and Avery like at the end because he does have a dog, so there's that dog relationship going on.
You're still upset about the Avengers.
I was. I'm just still torn up with the whole time travel, and I'm like, you couldn't have just beat them on your own. You have to revert back to trying, and then go, like I said, do some ode to Marvel and bring up all these characters that aren't in any movies anymore that I don't care about. But everyone else was like, oh yes, it's so good.
I should have never brought that up.
But John Wick 3, literally a killer movie. I mean, literally loved it. Also, Brooks Koepka, I mean, we're not going to get into it today. There's really no reason to, but Brooks Koepka almost kind of ran away with the PGA Championship.
Yeah, it got a little tight there at the end.
At the end, it did, which I had a feeling. I thought that was going to happen. Remember, I said in round 2 he wasn't going to be able to keep that up. Well, he did in round 2. He shut me up in a hurry when he shot like 600 or whatever he shot again, 5-7, whatever it was. And I'm like, wow. I figured it was kind of over, but I figured he wasn't going to be able to put that 5-6-3. He wasn't going to continue that for sure. Like an old school Tiger that would finish at like 19 under, 18 under, and be like, where are y'all at? Oh, y'all are like 10 behind me. I lapped y'all. That's right, 3 times ago. But it's still Brooks, great win, but still awesome. Not much to talk about. Grilling season upon us. I know we could talk about Memorial Day.
Yep.
Huge weekend ahead.
Big time.
Food. What are you going to be cooking, Doc?
Listen, man, I'll tell you what. You know what I'm going to be cooking? Whatever is being served at the concession stands.
No.
Because our baseball seasons,
full swing.
Our boys, all 3 of their select teams that they're playing on, they're kicking off their summer seasons.
Nice.
Man, dude, I'm going to be at the ballparks all.
I can tell. Look, if you can't tell, you watch our YouTube. You look at the tan, redness on the forehead there. Doc needs to get some sunscreen, guys.
I got, and not forget my umbrella.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, get the golf umbrella out there.
I totally forgot all my gear last week.
So even Monday you got baseball?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know if there was baseball Monday even for the youngins. I didn't know if I can't. Like I said, I didn't continue that long into baseball, but yeah, I figured y'all to get at least a day off for some cooking.
You know what's really funny, man? We always say, in Texas, football rules.
Oh yeah, definitely, and it does for them. There's no look. Point being, go by any high school, and it could be a small high school, and you look at the football stadium, and it looks like a college stadium in Arkansas.
But I tell you what, if you just came like a weekend to the games,
those little
to the boys
little tournaments that they have,
and you would see the thousands of people.
Sure, and the parents. It's family driven, big time.
Right, like we're going to be playing at this tournament out in Melissa or Mansfield. I don't know where the heck it is. But it's like big field. All the ballparks there are modeled after big league stadiums.
Wow!
So the kids are playing.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
just smaller versions.
But do they
have the one I would love to play and to build that massive wall? Do they have Fenway?
Yes, they do.
Do they?
They absolutely.
It's a smaller
and they got
version
Yankee
of the big
Stadium.
wall.
They
That's
got
too cool.
Wrigley Field.
Wrigley, of course.
Right. So if you came out, like I said, I know that football rules.
Yeah.
But man.
Baseball definitely, I'd say, a second runner because you'd think as big as the state is, they'd produce a lot more basketball stars. But that's what me and even my friend Jaron, he's from, shout out, hopefully listen, he's from Longview, Texas. We'll definitely, not that we argue, we both agree that football definitely you're going to see more studs out of Texas. But as small as Arkansas is, you're going to see almost as many, if not more, basketball studs out of Arkansas than you will out of a huge state of Texas.
Speaking of that, you know who was down at Jesuit yesterday playing on the soccer field, on the football field? the Dallas Mavericks.
Oh.
Gardner got a little high five from Luka.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you believe that, man?
Rubbing elbows. There you go.
The Mavs,
Yeah.
the Mavs are down there just having some fun with the boys.
I mean, that's cool. Yeah, well, what an off season. But then what a day for anyone that saw them.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I'll have to get the video from Gardner. Maybe we can post
He got
it.
some? He got a video?
We'll post it on Stud and Dud.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, dude rubbing elbows with Hunter Pence and Joey Gallo. Now he's gonna get. I mean, come on.
He thinks he's a stud.
Well, he is a stud. He's a minor stud.
We gotta have.
He's a minor.
He's got to come on. He's a minor stud.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have to have him on the show.
Exactly. Well, duh. Certainly, when he signs that letter of intent to play where, right here, baby.
Well, yeah,
right there.
We'll have to have all three of my boys. It would be fun.
Oh, it would be a funny show. So many great. That would be the greatest chamber of questions
Oh
of
my
all time. That would be the funniest and greatest for sure.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Oh yeah, but by the way, wearing another pair today.
I noticed that.
It's going to continue until I've run out. So I thought I go through every show and I see what I've worn. So I wore something different, and I messed up, but I represent to him. I decked my trades. I wore his shirt twice, and I was like, oh dang it, I didn't realize. But yeah, I love him so much, and I love the tee. So
it's okay.
Yeah,
it's all
my
good.
Mentor.
It's
exactly.
all good.
We got the new pair of shoes on. But let's get what's on tap today. We had a little spiel there.
Yeah.
Big things on tap. NBA playoffs. We're talking about this before the show. We know one thing. We got a sweep in one end, and then on the other end, we got a battle.
Correct.
So definitely talk about that, as well as some college baseball postseason, some talk. Obviously, it's on. We kind of mentioned that. Oh, man. Come on, Hogs. Got to get a big win today. And then in the coveted Stutter Dud segment, we'll talk about yet another Dallas brawler and what public figures, to me, in my mind, and what especially sports stars should be doing, and really, in the end, should not be doing. Pretty much not going, but you get my point.
Right.
Well, I don't know. Anyway, we'll get into this. Also, I got to briefly mention, because another dud moment from the Game of Thrones, the match in the chamber.
I saw that.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
Right.
Anyway, but then a great thing, and I'm sure you saw this, but one of the greatest graduation presents you
I did
probably
see that.
I mean,
yes.
wow.
Wouldn't you love to be one of those kids?
Yeah, right. One of those kids. Unfortunately, for, not every, like, man, that's because that lump sum alone was just, which we'll get into the number of just that graduating
I didn't
class
get jack
alone.
squat.
Yeah, oh, yeah, exactly.
What'd you get when you graduated from the commencement speaker? You don't even know who your commencement speaker was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't even know if I was still listening. I may have been out the door after I got my fake diploma they hand you.
Were you even there, man?
Oh, I was there because I had my family. Oh God, yeah. I was like, okay, my one shining moment. All my family's here. My first in the family to graduate college, so certainly was proud.
That's
of
a big
that.
deal.
Big deal. I was certainly proud of that.
Right.
But first, let's talk about some music.
Yeah.
Best concert of all time, and we're gonna talk about our dream concert. That we got to put up a lineup too. We're talking about our dream concert. The lineup. I want a lineup, and I want a location. You've been to all the, and it may be something maybe a place you haven't seen. You'd love to go to, and you haven't. That's mine. That'll be my dream concert. A place I've been there actually, but I haven't seen a concert there. We'll get into that.
Right.
Cool. But I'm going to go top 3 concerts. I kind of build up. I don't want to just go straight into my favorite concert all the time. I'm going to build into mine. So, Doc, have you been thinking about yours?
Of course. But now, what's funny, man? My concert list, dude. I saw a little precursor of yours.
Yeah. Of who the people? Yeah.
And I just totally cracked up because, okay, what do I play? What's
jazz?
Yeah, so
that bad jazz, baby.
All mine are jazz musicians.
Exactly. I was gonna say exactly.
Right?
You're gonna be the complete opposite spectrum of mine, and that's what I love about this.
It's so funny.
So
man.
we can cover two different things
gosh,
here.
It's so funny. Not that. Hey, I saw your list and it's good.
I mean, I put because I wanted the people. And let's go through this first. People we've seen, just so we can see the plethora. And thank you, Dad. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Father, for being the person you were and getting me into music. But then obviously being a disc jockey when they were disc jockeys.
Right. That's right.
And he knows music forever ago. And of course, then he's got to do all these concerts anyway. So I'm going to him. Oh my gosh! But yes, Three Dog Night. I remember that was my first concert ever. I ran into someone.
I can't even believe you brought up Three Dog Night. Come on, man.
To the well. I'm not even.
Listen, man, that's like before your time.
Big time. That was the first concert I remember, and one of the reasons why was because I was running around. Of course, it's a magical for the radio station he worked for, and of course they had the VIP area next door. It was the amphitheater. I forgot what it was called at the time, but it's right there on the river in Little Rock. The amphitheater. It's a lot like the Gexa or whatever it is here that we. It's a nice amphitheater outdoor, but right by the river. Anyway. Running around out there with the kids and whatever, me and this one kid are just beelining right for each other. Did not play, almost like playing chicken, but boom, head to head, collision. His poor ass went down on the ground and is literally crying. My dad was like, "You're a hard ass head," but literally, I'm like, but I'll never forget. I mean, it hurt for sure. But he's like down and crying, and I felt bad, but So first concert, I obviously remember that. Three Dog Night, Kansas. Seen U2, which was great. Sting, B.B. King, so a little shout out to your side.
Nice.
Hall & Oates, the Eagles. One of my favorites growing up, and this was probably at the time my favorite at all time because I had this 3 or 4 year obsession of Leonard Skinner. So my dad got me third row seats of Leonard Skinner and ZZ Top, which was
the original Leonard Skinner.
Yeah, right. I wish if I could go back in time. That's the only way that's happened, and that would be cool.
Yeah.
Elton John, Janet Jackson, Britney Spears. Mine's all pop. Janet Jackson, Britney Spears, Jimmy Buffett, Red Hot Chili Peppers was a great concert. More on the rap side, which just was a crazy good concert, and these are big stars. It was a Kanye West, Rihanna, and NERD nerd concert. That was so cool. John Mayer, Foo Fighters. So good plethora of rock and pop. And
yeah, I thought, am I dreaming this, but did you have Britney Spears on your list?
That's what I said, Britney Spears.
Oh, you did say
I
that?
was obsessed with. There was another talk about Leonard Skinner with music. I was just obsessed with her as far as I love Britney. So I saw her twice.
Yeah, and it had nothing to do with music.
No, that's what I just said.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. So, all right, let's listen a little rundown of the great names I know you've probably seen.
Oh, well, all jazz.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. I shouldn't say that. I grew up, I was liking bands. I liked the classic bands like Tower Power.
Okay, wow.
Tower Power, Chicago.
Love Chicago.
Early Chicago.
Yeah, exactly, because they do have that fluctuation.
I'm talking about real Chicago.
Late 60s, mid to early 70s was great.
Right.
And then late 70s, especially in the 80s, it totally just was not
Right.
the Chicago. I mean, they changed band members, so.
Right. Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Right?
There you go. Okay.
So
But I do love some Chicago. All the horns, all
oh
the
my
lift.
gosh.
Oh, God.
Right. But I, gravitated toward jazz at a young age. And so I was going to concerts like Ray Charles.
Oh, wow.
Like,
Oh, jeez.
Right. Now,
I mean, there you
I've
go.
seen Ray a couple of times.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, man, that's hard to beat right there.
Well, I've only got one name that's what I said. I got upcoming this year with the Paul McCartney. Other than that, I got nothing on my list that's going to, or U2 maybe, that's close to right. But yeah, there's nothing, that's huge, brother.
Yeah.
I mean, Ray Charles,
The best.
the
best.
I mean, they only made a massive movie about it. It was up for Oscars
right.
and stuff.
Yeah.
So all right, let's get into, and coulda, woulda, shoulda, and this probably would be up there. They came to Little Rock multiple times, and I think they came, anyway, Rolling Stones. Oh, I wish I would have saw them. And Aerosmith, they came through in the 90s a couple times, and I wish I would have seen them in Little Rock, and especially in their heyday, when they sound, even my prime band, when they really could put on a show.
Right.
Any woulda, coulda, shouldas for you?
Man, I thought you would have liked Black Oak, Arkansas, man.
Well,
Come
I do like
on,
some
man.
Black Oak, Arkansas.
Jim Dandy to the
Yeah,
rescue.
right. Oh my God, my dad is gonna love hearing that right there. Oh my gosh, for sure. And a guy named, he's not listening, but Lynn Edgerton, who I used to work with at a radio station in Little Rock, he brought that. That's great.
Yeah.
Black Oak, Arkansas.
Right? Were they like a big band? Did everybody in
I would say
Arkansas?
big,
Did
but-
everybody love them in Arkansas?
Big in Arkansas would be Johnny Cash.
Oh, okay.
Glenn Campbell.
Okay, well, good.
But look, you didn't get any bigger than that.
Right.
I mean, they're from Arkansas. Not you wouldn't think that, but boom, they're both from Arkansas and definitely represented that, especially Glenn Campbell. But yeah, I mean, those are your two biggest.
He was like a
studs.
king there, wasn't he?
Oh, stud, super king. I mean, Glenn Campbell, the acting he did too.
Yeah, right.
You got Johnny Cash. I mean,
Right.
Anyway, but yeah, those were probably the two household names when it comes to music. When our all-time Arkansas, I'd say that people just love tying to, especially good old boys. Oh no, Johnny Cash from Arkansas. I'm like, a lot of people will remember that. Oh, D-Light, Arkansas.
No
it's
kidding.
either him or Glenn Campbell. I can't remember which one it is, but they're from D-Light, Arkansas.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Both of them were from small towns, which is really crazy.
Wow.
Super close calls. This great shows. Garth Brooks, which is crazy. I saw these guys almost back to back. It was like 2 or 3 weeks apart in December of 2014.
I would imagine that's a fun concert right there.
Oh man.
I bet that's a fun
Dude,
concert.
put on a show.
Yeah,
and that's why it was so close to, honestly, just what is that? Nostalgic for the other ones. Well, probably for 3. They're really almost 3 A, B, and C with these. But point being, Garth Brooks, and then 2 weeks before that, I've always had kind of a man crush on him, and he does put on an amazing show because he dances. And no one to me dances and sings is better. Him in this generation, it was Michael Jackson before that could actually dance and sing at the same.
Right.
But Justin Timberlake, he puts on a show. He didn't go out there and you could see he's not lip singing. He is singing the whole time.
Well, yeah, you know what?
He's out there dancing his ass. I mean, he is dancing his ass off.
And you know who changed all that, right? You just mentioned the name.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson.
I mean,
people can say what they want.
No, that's what I said. I mean,
Right.
I do love Michael. I hate all that stupid documentary that came up.
Right.
But music-wise, we're speaking music, people, and his talent for music.
He changed everything.
I mean, and just it was ridiculous.
Just like you last week, we were talking about how Tiger Woods changed the sport of golf.
Exactly.
Michael Jackson changed that.
Bruno Mars now. You got all these people that are now emulating that.
You can't help but to watch any of them and go, man.
Yeah.
Michael.
Oh, yeah.
You see Michael
Yeah, you
Jackson.
see a little bit, exactly. But yeah, so, and those two were great. Here's my top 3. Do you have any close calls that almost made? Do you even have? A top
they're
three?
all close. They're all close calls. Yeah, I can give you a top 3.
All right. Well, let's go. Well,
Go to yours, and then
all right. Top 3. 2000. I'll never forget. What used to be called the Smirnoff Center, which is crazy to think. And came from Little Rock. I was heading into my senior year. Favorite band at the time was Blink-182. And Green Day was probably my favorite band in the 90s, probably-ish, close to being up there. So they're at the time probably my 2 favorite bands. And then Jimmy Eat World, who really became established with a few different songs. Ridiculous concert. And what topped it off was Blink ended it. What topped it off was we came down as kids, 17-year-olds. We all went to the concert by ourselves. Well, came down with one of the moms came, like Caleb Schmeckenbecker. I hope he starts listening to Stud and Dub. Anyway, his mom came down, and anyway, they came down, her and Larry. I think Larry is his father-in-law, so you get my point. I'm just trying to give some good shout-outs. But anyway, so we came down. They're the parent figures, but we had a great time. Went to Six Flags. Concert was that night. Went to however it worked out. Regardless, our seats were in the lawn. We got the cheap seats. Well, us being kids, we're gonna sneak up and try to find some empty seats. However, we luckily find the exact amount of seats just sitting there. No one ever came to claim them. No one. So we got to sit in underneath the under part, and we're that much closer now. And then now back to what made it amazing, and you've seen other drummers do this, but at the end, Blink closed, and their drummer, oh my God, I said Rob. What is his name? Oh my God, Tyler, something Travis.
Come on, man, you'll think of it.
Oh my gosh.
Come on now.
Oh my gosh, something Travis. I cannot believe I'm having a brain fart, but I am. But regardless, they're an amazing drummer. They put him up on, like, where they pull, because I know, I think Tommy Lee's done this too, but they put him on, somehow he's secured on his drum set. They then escalate, or, pull him up over the mosh pit, and then the whole set itself starts doing flips. So he's doing a drum solo, and the whole thing is flip. I mean, he's literally doing this, Doc. Literally doing this. And I am just like, oh my God. It was the coolest thing you'd ever see, especially at 17 years old. So that's number 3 for me. It was, and still one of the best, and it was at the time was the best con. That had now jumped to the number 1, but still great memories. Travis Parker. Oh man, this is gonna kill me. Anyway, it will. 2017. Kind of little backstory for this. Oh, and I guess a concert that never happened was Linkin Park, and the reason for this, 2017, the year before I got to know you, summer before last, obviously. Anyway, so Blink-182, which I just mentioned, and now Linkin Park, which Linkin Park's probably any of their shows would have been, because they put on a show. It sounds just like their album times a million, because they sing. They not only sound that good and sing that well, but just their energy. I tell anyone, I remember people would hate on them back and like, oh, Linkin Park. I'm like, go see them live. Like, you cannot wait. And I would turn so many people on, like, they'd go see them live, and you would just be like.
That's something, because a lot of times, especially in the pop genre and rock genre, when you see bands live, a lot of times you're disappointed.
Yeah, because they're not a true musician. Like, anytime you see a jazz music, you're not going to go to a jazz concert, you're going to be blown away.
Correct.
Because they are true musicians.
Correct. What you've heard on recordings is what you're going to get in concert.
If not even 10 times, like I was just saying.
Right, exactly.
So anyway, Blink-182 and Linkin Park decided to put on a 2-show thing together called Blinkin' Park, and they were going to do one at Hershey Park in Pennsylvania, the other one at MetLife Park, I think it's called, where the New York Mets play in New York.
Nice.
Instantly, and I'm getting goosebumps. And luckily, I got the early VIP sale. I got it, so I got tickets immediately. I got tickets because they did the whole they didn't do rows. They just did the whole floor, the field itself it's just all open entry. There's no seats. So I was like, I definitely want that. I want to be on the field where the Mets play. And then be that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then be as close as I can. Well, my 2 favorite bands, Blink-182 and Linkin Park. I can name old school bands that I love probably just as much, but since I've been alive, those are probably 1A, 1B, or 1A. You get my point. Those are my 2 faves. And now they're putting on a show together. Well, literally a week beforehand is when Chester Bennington unfortunately takes his own life, and I have not cried that much since my dog passed in my arms. Right. It killed me. I'll never forget, because Tommy, my brother, had in his lifetime was his big artist was Nirvana, and so and not everyone always has it, luckily, but if you in each generation there'll be a few artists, obviously each year it seems like, that take their, not each year, but every once in a while take their, you have to deal with the tragic ending to one of your favorite artists, and
it's far too common in the pop and the rock.
Exactly. At that point, I remember Tommy having to deal with Kurt Cobain and Nirvana, and now it happened to me, and I'm like, wow, I can't believe that. And I'm just, it still to this day hurts me. I hate it, knowing that I'll never get to see them live again, essentially. And probably won't. Linkin Park together, especially full, because now, he's gone.
Right.
So now they've canceled that. we've already booked a trip up there, so we still have to go up there, and we do they do this cool all over the world the day of that concert. Or no, that was when they did that one. But they did these little memorials all over the world right after he died, and they did one right at the park. So I went to that, which was cool. I joined that at the park. So I went to the outside, but the tickets were reimbursed. You didn't go inside. It was just this little thing you do on the outside. Right. So I literally took like a 45-minute sub, because the sub it takes forever to go anyway. Still had a great time in New York. Avery's never been. It was my second time, so definitely I love New York City. My favorite city.
That would have
been
a great concert, man. You would have.
So back to my number 2, and it was along. But point being, what they did was they did a tribute show for Chester. So in L.A. in October of that year, and it's probably my coolest venue I've been to, is the oh man, another brain fart. I want to say the Rose Bowl. Oh my gosh, the Hollywood Bowl. The Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah,
my
sure.
gosh, the Hollywood Bowl. Got a cool shot glass there and memorabilia because the Hollywood Bowl's infamous. It's been around, but it's famous. It's been around for 100 years, literally, right around now.
Saw Chuck Mangione there.
You went to the Hollywood Bowl?
Saw Chuck Mangione.
Wow. There you go. So I saw a tribute show there, and it is number 2 on my list because they pulled out artists from, I'm sure you remember, Alanis Morissette in the 90s, all these different artists from all over that came in to help fill in for Chester's maybe part or sing. Blink-182 came and they did a song. There were so many different artists that came, and it was they did a 3-hour play. It was like 3.5-hour show.
Wow.
It was the coolest thing, Doc, and be at the Hollywood Bowl, that beautiful surrounding.
Yes, right.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Awesome.
So number 2 is there. Just as how obviously that's huge to me. But number 1 because it was the first time we'd both ever seen Coldplay. So it's Coldplay, 2016 at the AT&T Stadium. What really set this off is because Avery's never seen them. It's her favorite band of all time. Like that is her number 1. Never seen them. So I like I do with all these tickets I get. Like this year, I get tickets. Don't let her know where we're gonna sit. So when we get there, because I always get some pretty good tickets, I make sure I do. Because luckily now you can usually pick where you're sitting. These sold out so fast I couldn't get them. So I had to buy them on secondary market. So when I bought them at almost literally probably $50 or face 50, not that much. I was like, that's fine with me. Regardless, you didn't know where your seats were going to be. Well, I find out their seats 1 and 2. They have that big catwalk. So they're on the floor of where now I've been on, which I've been on the floor. There wasn't no big deal to me, but to see a concert that close. Right. I forgot what row we were on, but it was where the catwalk came out, and then it has that little fat circle where they all kind of can come out and.
Right.
Well, of course. Point being, I get seats 1 and 2, and I see where they are. They're right there where that catwalk comes out and where it fattens up.
Wow.
Avery has no idea where our seats are. We're walking down there. It's like, where are we at? I'm like, oh, closer. Come on. I'll keep coming. So then we get to here's the aisle and here's the catwalk and our seats are right here.
Wow.
She immediately she just so pumped. Like me, I'm speechless. Can't even talk. So eventually he's finally coming down, right? He comes down, got to. So boom, and they let you rush right over there. And so he's right there. She's pretty much getting a touch. Chris Martin, lead singer of Coldplay. So everyone's freaking out. She goes, Chris! I have it on video. So I'm recording this. I have this on video. I wish I should have pulled it out. Chris! She posted it afterward. Soon as he says Chris, right? It was almost simultaneously because I have it on video. He's already coming around like this to her. And she's saying Chris and looks right at her and points at her in mid-song and is singing.
Wow.
Getting goosebumps. Points at her and singing and then keeps rocking.
Did she shove you out of the way or anything?
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, I go fly back with the camera. No. But they did a lot of sets down there, pulled the piano. So we're that close to Coldplay, which that's the closest I've ever been to any real true artist really like that. And for her to be that close, we're about to get married. We're about to get engaged because I was just about to propose to her in October, which, I knew I was, about to go get the ring. And this was August of 2016. So, yeah, that was one of the cool. And they put on... obviously to be number 1, not only that moment, but they put on, it sounded so great, like all these other ones that's why they're up there. But man, it was just
it's awesome.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
They give you these cool wristbands that go with so everyone's got them. You've got 100,000 people in this massive stadium. It was in this light. It was phenomenal. By far, not by far, but it's definitely the best concert I've ever been to. Number 1 would have been the tribute if Chester was there. You know what I mean?
Right.
I hate that so much.
Yeah,
That'd probably be number 1.
Right.
But that was at least 1A, 1B. But let's get to you. What's up with yours, Doc? Give me a little
totally
run-through.
different experience, right?
Right?
Man?
Yeah.
Coming with the jazz world, and I saw, I've seen bands like the Chicagos and the Doobie Brothers with Tom Johnston, Michael McDonald.
Yeah.
That
voice too,
God.
live. I couldn't imagine, especially
awesome.
back in 70s or 80s.
But if I have to put together my favorite concerts, they're all going to lean toward the jazz side.
Let's give me number 3.
So number 3, it's a close call. There's a couple. So I got a tie for number 3.
Kind of like me. Yeah,
I got a tie.
It's kind of hard. You got to put them in there. There's some that are so good.
Okay, what this is going to you won't even know who this is, man.
Okay.
George Shearing.
Nope, haven't heard of it.
George Shearing.
All right.
All right, let me tell you why this is a great.
Yeah.
George Shearing was an awesome jazz pianist.
Gotcha.
Okay.
What year is this when you saw him?
Maybe 1984-ish.
Okay, so the year I was born. You're rocking out.
85-ish.
Mr. Shearing.
Right, George Shearing.
All right.
Now, here's what made this concert great. It was going to be George Shearing on piano, Brian Torf on bass. Now, the jazz folks that are listening right now, they know who these guys
They're
are.
probably creaming. They're going, ooh, that sounds good.
Oh my
Ooh,
God! Yeah, George. Oh, George.
Yeah, that's a dream concert.
Oh, that's
right,
right.
yeah.
That's number 3. It should
Yeah.
be right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here's what made this concert interesting. It was a duo. George Shearing and Brian Torf at that time were doing a lot of duo work and touring together.
Yep.
And Brian Torf, when he got to Chicago, discovered that his bass, his upright bass, had somehow mistakenly got shipped to Phoenix,
Wow.
Arizona.
Okay.
So freaking that his instrument, now again, jazz musicians can appreciate this because their instrument is like
live.
it's like live.
Like
Yeah, you're not just going to go, hey, we'll play this bass instead. You
it's
know?
like, what do we call? Oh my God. It's like a millennial with their cell phone.
Correct. Correct. That's a great analogy, right? So he freaked. He immediately said, do not touch that bass. Leave it in Phoenix. He got on a plane and flew to Phoenix. So now it leaves George Shearing by himself.
Yeah.
Right? Well, George Shearing came out and played a concert that was supposed to be a dual concert. So keep this in mind that probably all the set list, all the tunes that they were going to play have been rehearsed and practiced.
Exactly.
As a duo.
Yeah.
As a duo. George Shearing walks out on stage. No one knows this at the time in the audience that.
Like you're sitting there, I have no idea.
So George Shearing comes walking out, and I'm sitting there thinking, where's Torf?
Yeah.
Where's this guy?
Yeah.
Right? And George Shearing announces on the microphone, he explains that, unfortunately, I'm sad to announce that, Brian's instrument was shipped to Phoenix. And Brian took off
to go get his baby girl.
Yeah,
right.
So he said, so you're basically stuck with me for the evening.
Yeah.
So initially it's kind of a letdown because you're thinking, wow, that's a drag, man. I wanted to see George Shearing with Brian Torf.
Yeah.
And but anyway, the fact that he actually on the spur of the moment got thrown into a solo
act,
a solo act as opposed to a duo.
Yeah.
And he actually performed close to 3 hours solo piano to make up. He said he told everybody, I promise you, I will.
Yeah, because he's got to feel bad.
Yes,
yeah.
I promise you, I will make this up to you. You're going to enjoy the concert.
Yeah.
And so now, again, as a jazz musician, anybody listening as a jazz musician knows, man, dude, the sit down solo on stage, you and your instrument, and to play for that long, and have the crowd totally in the palm of your hand, man, that's some serious playing. And that was an awesome concert.
That's awesome.
It was fabulous.
Number 3. Tied for number 3.
That's number 3. And probably tied with that, I would have to say, well, there's a couple ties for that. Ella Fitzgerald.
Wow.
Ella Fitzgerald live in concert was tremendous, and she did about another 3-hour stint.
That's
that
nuts.
was
that's unheard of these days. I mean, you get my point. When you get to 3 hours for the main set,
yeah, they had to actually.
Nowadays, it's like an hour and a half-ish, 2 hours if you're lucky.
Yeah, they had to actually pull her off the stage.
Yeah, I was watching this real quick skit on and probably did that a lot back in the day. That's maybe why they did this skit, but on SNL, and that was one of the because we didn't need more SNL. The writing's terrible. Anyway, it was hilarious. It's called Electric Shoes, and it just made me think of that. Electric shoes, they make you move, and it's just a song they made up. Yeah, this guy did the whole end of the story is like this. He ended up doing like 100 encores that night. Well, they were trying to get to like the main girl. He ended up doing however many on, and kept going back to that. And electric. It was hilarious.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, but it reminds me of that where they had to like pull him off. Like, dude,
you're done.
You have gone long.
Yeah,
we appreciate it,
but you're done.
You're done.
We're locking up.
Yeah.
So Ella Fitzgerald with Jimmy Rolls on piano. Oh my gosh, another one of my favorite jazz piano players. It was awesome. She had a whole quartet with her. And then along the same line, Sarah Vaughan, another great vocalist with Ramsey Lewis on piano. Oh my gosh, come on, man. Now, again, very different, right? These are jazz settings, right?
Yeah.
So number 2 would be Ray Charles.
Gotcha.
Saw him a couple different times.
Wow,
and Ray Charles.
Always put on, I'm sure, an amazing show.
Yeah, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, so the number 1, the gig.
Number 1, my favorite jazz piano player of all time, Mr. Oscar Peterson.
Oh, really?
Now, he is, again, to the jazz world. Come on, Oscar Peterson. They don't get any bigger than Peterson. He was a force to be reckoned with on piano. So I would just tell everybody, if you don't know who Oscar Peterson is, YouTube him and watch some videos of this guy playing jazz piano in concert. Absolutely
phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, blow you away.
Phenomenal. But what makes that concert my favorite concert of all time is not only because of his just...
Where'd you see? Where was this at? Where'd you see him?
Believe it or not, this was at the University of Iowa, where this concert was held in their fine arts facility, which is a beautiful venue, venue. And Oscar Peterson was, in fact, I'm stunned that I don't even know how they pulled that off.
Yeah.
But I actually took my father to that concert.
Yeah.
Right, to see Oscar Peterson. And what was hilarious, my dad's a Johnny Cash guy. You know, he's like a Johnny Cash,
Arkansas
Willie
baby.
Nelson.
There you go.
He did he's a country music boy.
That's good, yeah.
Right? So here I drag him to see Oscar Peterson, the
Yeah.
greatest jazz piano player of all time to the University of Iowa, right? I'm sitting in my seat there. I'm just like totally blown away, totally immersed. Can't believe what I'm hearing. I'm looking around.
Your dad's sleeping.
You got it. I look over at Dad next to me. He's like,
He probably got so relaxed with that piano. He was like, this is so relaxing.
So my dad sleeps. My dad sleeps through Oscar Peterson, right?
That's
This is just a
great.
great. So on the way out, I'm going like, Dad, was that phenomenal or what?
Yeah.
That was just absolutely unbelievable. My dad goes, I don't know. He said my dad goes, he hit a couple clinkers. I said, that's what he calls them, right? Like that's what he would call it. Like if you hit a couple clinkers. I said, Dad, how would you know if he hit a couple clinkers?
Yeah.
You were sleeping. So I called him out on it.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to say anything,
Yeah.
right? I was going to let the sleeping go.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't going to try, make him feel bad.
Yeah.
But when he actually accuses my favorite piano player of all time of
I'm supposedly hitting the wrong key.
Oh, hitting some
Here or there.
Right. I had to call him out on it. I said, Dad, how would you know, man?
Yeah.
I said, you slept through the whole thing. He said, how would I know? Every time he hit one, it woke me up.
That's hilarious. So you never know.
So anyway.
Good argument.
So I've been to like tons of jazz concerts, but the list could go on and on.
Yeah.
But man, those are probably, if I
All right,
had
so
to,
let's go dream concert. Let's get right in it for you. If you could make one dream concert, set list, where would it be?
oh my gosh.
I said a set list, but who you have, who's performing, I should say.
Oh, I think some of the classic, the giants in jazz would definitely, the Miles Davis, John Coltrane, Bill Evans, Art Blakey, and I'd love to see them in a classic venue like in New York City, like at Birdland.
There you go.
Charlie Parker, Dizzy Gillespie.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. If those would be my dream. I mean, I grew up listening to these on recordings, reading stories about these giants in jazz.
Yeah.
So it would be
An honor, I'm sure.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
it would be phenomenal. And to then see them in a very intimate setting, jazz club, like in a New York City, like a Birdland, would be just fabulous.
There you go.
Yeah.
Would you take it back to like a certain time period to see them back in the day, or would you rather it be now?
No, I'd like to see them in that time period in their prime.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't know if you'd like to see that old, the old school
that's like going
setting
back.
is my point.
Yeah, that would be like, what that would be? It'd be like saying, do you want to watch Muhammad Ali box when he was, 70 years old, or would you want to watch him?
Well, I know you want to see him in their prime, but would you rather it be like current setting or like old school?
Old school.
That's what I'm saying.
Definitely.
Old school,
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. I want it to be old school.
Yeah. Because that's a different. I mean, I could see where I'm about to see mine. It could be really any year. It really wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that that would be a totally different setting.
That's
back
right.
In the 40s, 50s,
Because there's
60s
something
compared to
correct. Right.
2020.
Right. And that would be like, going back to the Muhammad Ali example.
That would be cooler. Yeah.
I'd like to see him as like Cassius Clay when he was
in the 50s or like whatever 60s, whenever that was.
Right.
Early instead of the 70s.
Man, that would be just like.
And even seeing it then, like the Rumble in the Jungle, seeing it then versus now would be so much cool. Now people are bringing knives and trying to stab people.
Oh my gosh! Right.
Like the fact that happened then and everything. Anyway.
Right.
Now my great setup of because I did more of a lineup. Obviously, it's gonna be different artists. You could just probably have all day long, just having them just nonstop come out. You don't care who finishes, who ends.
Right. That's right. That's exactly right.
Mine would be essentially kind of dream car, almost kind of like Blinken Park, but we'll get into that. But all time, Red Rocks, I have to have it at Red Rocks Amphitheater. Like that was what I mentioned earlier in the show where I've been multiple times. I'd love to see it. And everyone probably that I'm about to mention, not everyone, but most of them have played there probably, I'm sure. And I'd love to see them there. So Red Rocks, late October, obviously, like, October 11th, 12th, 13th, my wife's birthday, my birthday,
nice.
Our anniversary.
Nice.
Also then, guess what? It's going to be like 60, I was thinking, it'll be 67 degrees outside too on top of the fact. Beautiful night. So we got a beautiful night of stars above us.
You got it going.
The beautiful, are you
kidding? You got it all dreamed out there.
And now, someone who I love, who I know he's not probably, classical, yes, but just some of his music I do love so much, and the way he would mix it up, these two artists. I'd love to see Beethoven and Jimi Hendrix open up. And so they just get. After that, you're amped. You're just you don't know. You
I love it, man. You're pulling in a little cloud. Look at you. Look at you.
But I love Jimi Hendrix. He was my favorite guitarist growing up. Talk about those dear. Look at my dad with the classic rock station that he worked for. So I was Leonard Skinner for a time, and Jimi Hendrix. I loved all that old school stuff. And the closer, you'll see. I would to see them live back in the day. And I'll set the setup. But anyway, Beethoven, Jimi Hendrix doing some kind of mixed mashup. Oh, dude. Then right after that,
would be very interesting.
Getting my Blinken Park. Blinken Park actually happens. That's what Blinken Park literally actually happens. Maybe Jay-Z, because Linkin Park and Jay-Z did a cool little mashup in the early 2000s. Then Jay-Z comes out and does some of his cool little rap with them. Dude, oh my, now I'm really on the edge of my seat. But now just send me over the edge so I can go home like this. I'd want to see Pink Floyd played the whole Dark Side of the Moon album with the monitors playing The Wizard of Oz.
Ooh. No Britney Spears.
She'll be in the stands for this, I bet. Sure, that or in Las Vegas still performing, but no, no Britney. I don't even care about seeing her. But man, we did that back in college. Have you ever done that before? Watched Wizard of Oz and played the whole album of Dark Side of the Moon?
Oh, I have not.
Have you heard of that?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. We probably did that. It became a big thing because they knew we were doing it over at our house. So we probably did it like 5 or 10 times at about a month period one year in college because we did it. We're like, oh my God, this is so cool. And so everyone's like, you gotta come. Next thing you know, we had one that was like 20 people watching Dark. We had Dark Side of the Moon playing, all the lights off, watching Wizard of Oz. Oh, dude, it was cool. But yeah, to see that would be so cool live to see them play that. I love that album. I could listen to that whole thing even to this day. This was crazy to think as a 19, 20-year-old kid in college, I am jamming out Pink Floyd.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
In 2004 or 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to see them play that, and with that in the background, with the stars above you. Oh man, that setting, that would just be so. To have all those different highs and lows. The point being, I would want a concert where I'd feel every emotion.
You have to have a cameo by Black Oak, Arkansas in there.
Oh, probably so. They come out. They could be the opening
for
band.
Your dad at least.
Yeah, exactly.
Jim Dandy do the rest.
Exactly. But I would want a concert. My point, you get so many. I would want to cry. Blinken part of cry. I want to cry. I'd want to laugh. I'd want to jump up and down and scream. I'd want all of that.
You want food there? How about what kind of food you're going to be enjoying
at a concert?
Yeah.
I don't even care. Here's what's so funny. When I go to a concert, I can't remember the last time I've eaten food at a concert.
See, now in the jazz venue, man, I'd be having a nice cold beer.
Oh, so yeah, I'm drinking some cold beer. But see, that's the thing is we always eat beforehand, so I go full. So I don't want to be eating there. I want to be enjoying even when I get on my phone because I want to record what's happening. I want to remember it more so. Even like, put your phone down, I'll enjoy the moment, because I am so into the concerts I go to. I am so. So yeah, food, not it. Now football, or if I say football, sporting venue, doc, we're a totally different. Hey, especially the pro games, all the different foods that they have. Oh my gosh, like when we went to the Broncos game. And that's what sucks. Like I said, that's why I was having the stomach issues.
Right.
Oh, my God. And I had to smell all that amazing food. And Avery's just over there destroying it. I'm trying to eat one fry at a time. Then I'm running to the bathroom. Whoa! Come back out. Oh, it smells so Why am I doing this to myself?
That would be a good show, man, to talk about what games, sporting events, what games would we, if we could, go back in time.
We're gonna have multiple topics like this,
and see.
I just want to do music. When I even brought it up to my dad, I was like, "That's actually a pretty good topic."
Yeah.
So we'll get to. Oh, definitely, hell
right?
yeah!
If you could go to one game or two,
your top three sporting events all time. Which ones? You already number one and probably two. I'm going to Super Bowl 32 and Super Bowl 33, then Super Bowl 50. Those are my top three. Maybe not so much. Maybe I'll throw in the Razorback Championship in 90. You know what I mean? But yeah, exactly. That is a hard argument because which three? If you go to even just one,
right?
Mine would be the first, probably Broncos Super Bowl. We'll get into that another day. But man,
think about that.
Oh, that is a good one. All right, let's get into some sporting talk.
Yeah.
And it's on behind us. College baseball. Postseason, the leading into the conference tournaments, UCLA has been dominating. Now with 9, they won last night, so they've won 9 straight. UCLA has number 1 in the country, so they've been dominating. Vanderbilt, same with them. They remain at number 2. They've won about 5 or 6 in a row. So Vanderbilt's been looking mighty fine lately. Okay, but this is what I want to get to, which I couldn't believe. I forgot SEC because I forgot Georgia was so good this year. 4 of top 7 teams are from the SEC, and they all have 40 wins. I mean, that's crazy.
SEC,
to think.
man.
Wow, pretty good baseball teams.
That whole, yes, that it's unbelievable.
And
all of them.
Even
the worst baseball team in the SEC is the best.
You're playing against baseball team. Like we were talking about Alabama, which we brought up before. I mean, they're 10, 15, however many games over, at least 50. I think whatever it was, over 500.
Correct.
A good team, a decent team.
Even
the Pac, like I said, the Pac-10 now 10. I always want to say 12. No conference tournament for them. Why I say that because it's the Pac-10 now essentially, but it's the Pac-12. But you get my point. Only 10 teams, so that's why they don't have a conference tournament. So Stanford though. They are number 2, which funny, one of the teams your son also was looking at was
this.
Yeah, that's a bomber. Oh, no.
Oh, right.
Arizona State.
Yes.
That's one of your teams your son you're talking about was looking at. They actually beat Stanford last night.
Yeah.
And they're pretty good. That's what you're talking about.
They're a good team.
That's my point. Even the bottoms of the bottom for the most part in the Pac-10 are pretty, or 12.
You know I'm
going
to be at the College World Series, man. Did you know that?
You're going?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why are you going? Y'all just go?
Well, my middle boy, Fulton, his select team is playing a baseball tournament in Omaha during the College World Series.
Look at you.
So part of that tournament, man, we go up there. I get to watch him play and cheer him on.
Dude, that's awesome.
And then the two of us.
And guess who else you hopefully be cheering on?
Man, that'd be great, man.
The Hoggies, baby, which they lost last night, unfortunately.
So we'll be up there for an entire week.
That's awesome.
And going to his games.
So we're gonna have to miss out on maybe doing a show.
Or we have to squeeze it. Maybe you'll have to come up there. We do the show from Omaha.
Ooh, that would be pretty cool. That'd be a cool stutter dud.
Stud and dud from
I'm telling you,
College
from Omaha.
From Omaha.
And we could go try to gather. Or it'd be so cool when we do something like that. Even like I said, when we go on the road, especially obviously if we definitely get spring training next year. Doing like just little interviews, which will add to the show.
Right.
Just me doing goofy. I'll go up to them and get any of those, the players for any of the teams and just ask them goofy, send them into the chamber.
I wonder if you think a college guy would want to be on Stud and Dud?
Dude, are you kidding me? And we need to get her on. We'll bring her up. We need to get a certain golfer on soon. I know she's busy now. That's why I didn't want to bother it this week, but sometime soon we're going to get her on.
All right.
But back to the SEC tournament, double elimination. So today, here's what we have. Arkansas versus Ole Miss. Arkansas beat Ole Miss, which is crazy. Both these teams have played each other. But either one of these teams lose, they're done. So today we have Arkansas versus Ole Miss. I'll definitely be watching that this afternoon. Arkansas beat, like I said, Ole Miss on Wednesday 5-3. Also this afternoon we have LSU versus Mississippi State, which we see Mississippi State up here playing Vanderbilt. Well, Vanderbilt took the dub last night. So here in just a little bit, LSU versus Mississippi State will be underway. Mississippi State won 6-5 in 17 innings on Wednesday. Did you see that? Well, that game went forever, like to 1 in the morning or whatever it was.
I love it.
That's you're talking about. That's a baseball that, yeah.
I love that.
That was a great game. So great baseball being played. I know you're loving life right now.
Oh, yeah.
Full swing into postseason.
Absolutely.
And this is when I'm really starting to love it because it's really on all the time, too, and you're catching your team when you want to see them because they're always on TV.
Right.
Florida State, I have to bring this up, though. Vandy and Georgia have not lost, obviously. Georgia awaits the Arkansas Ole Miss winner, which Georgia just beat my Hoggies yesterday. Vanderbilt takes on the LSU Mississippi State winner.
Mm-hmm.
But Florida State, Mike Martin to retire. Remember I brought him up a few shows ago when I brought up Dave Van Horn getting 1,000 wins in Division I. And he's the one that I was mentioning. I was like, the guy at Florida State, I didn't know his name, or at least I forgot it. Mike Martin, 2,000 career wins. And he's finally retiring. But wow, 2,000 wins.
Quite an accomplishment.
Stud.
Yes.
Yeah, so definitely a lot of baseball on. We'll see. Hopefully my Hogs can get it together, at least maybe work their way back into the championship game. That would be nice. They definitely want to get a win today. want them to get a regional and host a super regional. It obviously bodes well for teams that do that. So
yeah, it's exciting, man. It's amazing how many great teams won't be playing for the championship.
Oh yeah, and just I know, right? And especially watch, like, say if UCLA somehow gets knocked out, UCLA, like I said, have won 9 straight, but they're led by their pitching. They lead the NCAA in total team pitching ERA 2.74.
Yeah,
they've had like 8 or 9 shutouts this year.
Here's what's great about this game here, man. This college game. You take these teams that are all competing right now. If 2 months from now you gathered all these same teams together and you played it again,
oh yeah,
you'd probably have a different champion.
Oh yeah, a lot different too. I mean, this team beats this team.
It's just the way baseball. It's just the way baseball is. Unlike you take college football, the likelihood that Clemson and Alabama was going to play in the national championship game.
If they did that 10 times, it would be 7 times they probably make it.
That's
8, whatever.
Exactly right.
Oh, the parity is what you're saying is
right.
Very much more so in college baseball than it is. It's and even in college basketball. That's what I love about college basketball. You do that NCAA tournament. You telling me you don't do that? So, this
right.
5 times you're gonna have 5. I guarantee you're having 5 different winners.
That's exactly right.
Let's get to the NBA playoffs, which we had a sweep out west. I mean, it wasn't even real. We had one game 4, winning overtime.
That was sad.
God, it was
that was just sad.
Yes, maybe you would think like I said, if you think about it on paper and you hadn't seen the season, you're gonna say I would have said they're gonna win in 5 or 4, honestly. Now the season the Warriors had, you may not think that. That's the point. But that's my point. You just sweep the year away. Don't say that, but you just take the year away and go. This time last year, here's who's going to make the Eastern Conference Finals next year. Well, already in your head, you're going to go, hey, okay, one of them's the Warriors, isn't it? Yeah, anyway. So you get my point. But then if someone would have said to you a year ago right now, it's going to be the Warriors and the Trailblazers, who do you take in how many games? I would have said Warriors in 5. Probably wouldn't have said a full sweep, but I would have said probably Warriors in 5.
Right.
No doubt.
Right.
Even not knowing KD is going to, but you get my point.
Right.
But yeah, to go do that with KD, it was definitely an impressive four-game sweep, nonetheless. But yeah, you kind of saw that coming, especially after game 1.
They just rolled over, man. Trailblazers, even when they have an 18-point lead, man, they just roll over.
Yeah, I just wasn't much of a competition in the end. I thought it would be. I really thought that the Trailblazers in game 3 or 4 were going to start putting up a fight because they do have some talent.
And as much as I hate to say this, I don't see either one of the other 2 teams that are in it, either one of them beating the Warriors. Man.
I think they can get a game or 2, especially if Kawhi. He gets that Jordan factor in. That's what it reminds me. We'll get into that in a minute. But he'd been dominating on the Eastern side. But yeah, I could see them maybe getting a game and maybe 2 games, getting it to 6. We'll see. Like you said, that's why they play the game.
I wouldn't even be stunned if it was another sweep.
I would not be stunned, honestly, myself. I wouldn't be completely stunned. I wouldn't be anyone stunned at all. No, I'm right there with you. I'd probably,
As much as it pains me to say.
Well, that's why we were wanting the Nuggets to get there, and we wanted the Bucks overall in the end to win. We were I know that was probably more of our heart instead of our head talking, but there was a little head involved, and the Bucks were playing great. They were rolling right through, and then all of a sudden they were rolling right through this series. They had, like I said, let's get into that. So Eastern Conference, it's a massive battle on the Eastern side. Now the Raptors are up, winning 3 in a row, now up 3-2, and that's my point. Let's get back to Game 3, went into double overtime.
Yeah.
The Bucks had it. The Bucks had it, and then they lost it. If they win Game 3, like I was saying before the show, that series is pretty much done. They're up 3-0. That their Raptors may win that 4th game. You get my point. They're going to eventually just roll. You get my point. They may even push it to 6.
Does the series go back to Milwaukee now?
Yes.
Okay, so
it did last night.
It did last night.
It did last night.
So that was played in Milwaukee.
Yes, it was. That's my point. Yeah,
it's
they
not
won.
Looking good.
Yeah,
it's not looking good.
So that's why that game 4 to me, or no, yeah, Game 3 was the game the series changer is what I'm saying. Like I said, went to double overtime. You win that one, it's definitely looking like the Bucks obviously are going to win. But yeah, that's a series changer. You win that in double overtime. Now you're getting the motivation. Then they came out and win Game 4 a lot with Kawhi kind of dominating the 4th quarter. And then last night he scored like 35, 40 points again, somewhere in that range. But he's just been blowing up, and that's what I was put down. He's proving to be a better player in the clutch over the MVP, Giannis, the Greek Freak.
Yeah,
Greek Freak hasn't been showing up nearly as much.
Correct. And based on what we've seen so far, I would say the best chance for the Warriors to be upset would be for the Raptors to go ahead and finish it out.
Oh, they have to in Game 6. And by the way, Game 6 is tomorrow night, Saturday. Game 7 if necessary, which would be great.
Does that make sense?
Memorial Day.
In other words, that momentum that come from 2
and then win 4 straight
going into the.
Yep. Oh yeah.
I think that's the best chance.
Yep. Certainly so. Yep. And like I was saying, back to Kawhi, love it that he is under the Jordan brand. That's another reason why I love, and just seeing how he, like I said, the game winner over the 76ers, just that kind of clutch game-winning shot, the way that went in, how he's performed in this series now.
Right.
Definitely proven to be a clutch player and just kind of has not full Jordan effect. I mean, you've seen players, my point being, like Dwayne Wade in the NBA Finals against the Mavericks, forever.
Right.
There are players that can get that heat for a series or two. So let's see if Kawhi, I mean, great player. I mean, I'm not saying, you know what I mean. He's obviously top 10 player in the NBA, but just to gather that super hot momentum that you can carry a team essentially, which Raptors have a little bit of talent, but nothing that's that deep to really commit to the talent that the Warriors have. I mean, the Warriors are so deep on us, especially when they're fully healthy. But that'll bode. We'll see what's up with DeMarcus Cousins. What's up with Kevin Durant? How healthy are they? I mean, I know it didn't really mean much in the last series, but I would say if the Raptors and the Trailblazers had a series, the Raptors are probably going to take that series. So my point being, the Raptors are a better team, especially with when Kawhi is getting hot as he is.
Right.
So we'll see. It's great that like I said, it's great basketball on one side. It was a sweep on the other, which is unfortunate. So I'm just ready for the finals really to see who can hopefully put up a fight against the Warriors. Like I said, Game 6 tomorrow night, Game 7 Monday, which will be a good Memorial Day game if we do get Game 7. We're checking to make sure we're still recording.
Yeah,
we
man.
look over.
I freaked out, man.
You have those.
I had a moment where I'm like, hey,
you can't see it as well from where you're sitting.
I'm like, hey, we are recording, right?
All right, let's get into it. The stud or dud segment.
Okay.
Start with a stud. We've got to. And the girl I mentioned earlier, Maria Fossey, we've got to get her on the show. I haven't heard if it's Fossey or Fossey. I've got to look to see if it's Fossey or Fossey.
You want to get that right, man. Right.
Wins the NCAA tournament and the golf title. I mean, are you kidding me? Wins the NCAA women's golf title.
She might be our first studette on the show.
And we're going to try to get you on. Don't you worry, Maria. You need to be our first studette. We would love it.
That would be awesome.
Brought that up. I sent it to Doc just so you know. Arkansas Razorbacks golf team and Maria. Send it straight to Doc. Send it to Bat. Send it to everyone. But I was like, dude, we've got to get this studette on the show. And that's what you said, obviously. But yeah.
Right.
So I'll try. And like you said, there is no try. And I said, I'll try. You said, there is no try. There's only do.
There's only do, man.
Come on, just like Yoda. And I said, and that's what I said. But I was like, hey, even if I don't, I was like, I will do. But if I don't, at least I tried.
Well,
because I know, right? But I was like, hey,
Yoda would go just shake his head like, dude. Yeah.
But yeah, here's what's so nuts.
You will not be a Jedi with that. With that mentality.
I'm doing it. I'm doing as much as I can. But if I don't do, I tried.
Right.
I tried, Yoda.
Come on, man.
But the last day, the final round. Play suspension. She played through play suspension, wind, rain, 30 mile per hour wind. I was reading about.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Are you kidding me? And shot, what was it, 4 or 5 under? Yeah, shot 5 under that final round to win by 4 strokes.
That's pretty focused.
Dude, she is a studette. We need to get her on.
Yes.
So congratulations to Maria. Especially being a Hog. I'm wearing the shirt today in honor of not only the baseball team but for her. Dude,
you just need to make one call, man. Your connection's up there.
I'll get her on. And we talked about this last week. Key Young, I hope you're listening. Obviously, you should be. Key. Golf X Fit, by the way. Thanks for coming on last week.
That was
Seriously,
awesome.
Super stud. What did we talk about last week? Here's one thing. She shot a bogey-free final round.
Yes.
I mean, are you kidding me? That was also with that 500. I shot a bogey-free final round.
Impressive.
And all that weather in play suspension. I'm telling you, play suspensions aren't easy. You're playing and playing in that weather, and then you have to go in and sit around. You might even eat a hot dog or something. Then you got to go back out, and that's not the easiest thing to continue that momentum. Is my point.
You haven't shot bogey-free even when the weather was perfect.
Never. And I haven't shot bogey-free probably even at a putt-putt golf course. And I have played pretty, good high school golf.
The windmill always gets you, doesn't it?
It gets me.
The windmill just crushes.
I get to 18, I'm like, bogey free. Here we go. I just got to get it in.
And then you see the windmill.
And I just freak. I get it to a 7. A 7 on a par 2. I'm like, what's going on? I was bogey free. All right, let's get to the Dallas Brawler. Did you see this, Ezekiel Elliott? Did you see any? I mean, it kind of scuffed the headlines last week, thank gosh. And speaking of which, because he got handcuffed. But did you see this? Did you see the... Did you see the article?
I just saw a little rumblings.
And here's my thing. He's at an EDC festival in Vegas. Electronic, whatever it's in. You're at some... that kind of stuff.
Right.
DJs play, which is great. Cool music, especially in Vegas. That's what they play a lot of. Love it. Gets you in the great mood. But what is Ezekiel Elliott doing at this? And without a massive surrounding of bodyguards, so nothing is happening to him at all time. Like, hey, if I do anything stupid or anything happens to me, pull me away and get the goons that are trying to do stupid away.
Right.
And this had nothing to do with any other goons but himself. And here's how this all started. Was when here's how it all started. Okay, let's get to this. He supposedly put his hands on. He was with there. That's the only thing he was with his girl. I guess his girl. He was with a woman supposedly because this is where it all starts. He's with a woman, puts his hands on a woman. He's like blocking her. You can tell the woman's pissed off and she's trying to get away, and they're having a confrontation. Well, he's like keeps getting in her way and blocking her. Like, no, you know that whole kind of not being too, but confrontational enough to where the police parking kind of security guards have got to come over and do something about it. Well, when those guys are small. I mean, those guys are, especially the guy he knocked over. I mean, he's not anything over 6 foot. This guy's got to be. These are not big guys, so, and that's my point too. They're like little security officers for the parking lot or wherever because they're heading out to a parking lot. Well, so they kind of see something's going on, so they want to get, make sure nothing crazy is going to happen. I don't even know if at the time if they know it's even Ezekiel Elliott, because a lot of people that, like, when this was getting recorded and Ezekiel's standing there, because it was recorded, people were just walking by, because Ezekiel Elliott isn't like if he's in Dallas, yeah, he's out in Las Vegas, I'm sorry, but no one's really going to know who Ezekiel Elliott is.
That's right.
So I don't even know if at first they knew who he was. So now one of the guys, security guys, for whatever reason, I don't know what all happened exactly, but Ezekiel, I didn't do it, he keeps saying, I didn't do anything. Is what reading the TMZ article keeps kind of now shoving into the security officer to where because he's a thick guy. He plays in the NFL, so you're a thick guy no matter, even if you're on the bench, you are a thick guy and you can knock some people over. Well, he just kind of muzzles his way into this little dude and knocks him right over on his butt. And of course, then for whatever reason, that's when the real police have to step in, and that's when they handcuff him. Nothing major happened there, no. Not at all. And the guy dropped the charges, so that's why there will be no charges, and probably why it didn't make headlines. Because I was like, it would be one thing if just Ezekiel pushed his hand, he like knocked him over or hit him. He didn't. He just kind of shouldered him down, essentially, like saying, "Hey, man."
Right.
Which is certainly a dud move. Certainly a high school jock would have done to some nerd back in the day. It seems like, which is not what you want to portray the character to be. But it's just like, what are these buffoons, I'm sorry, but they are, doing Ezekiel Elliott at EDC festivals in June? Aren't you supposed to be preparing for a season you're about to have? I know it's, like I've said, it's a great thing to get out and have fun and experience life, especially when you're young. But my God, you're making millions of dollars. Can't you just wait till you're 35-ish to 40, and then you can go do you've made millions of dollars. You can go do anything. Well, if you're smart, you can go do anything you want when you want. You can go to these festivals. That's my point. It gets back to, hey, yeah, maybe surround yourself with people that are like, if anything happens, you pull me away, you pull them away.
It's
if you want to go. But my point is, don't go.
Don't. It's generational, right?
What's this?
This whole, let's talk about all the scuffles that Walter Payton had with the police.
Yeah.
Let's see, that would be, 0.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how many times Roger Staubach was like busted at some event doing things that he shouldn't be doing. Oh, wait a minute. That would be 0.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of times, man, these athletes just think they're entitled. They can do whatever they want, whenever they want, wherever they want, to whoever they want. Oh, yeah. And it's just, right? They haven't figured it out yet. They're just athletes.
Yeah.
Just like I'm just a musician.
Yes.
You're just stock trader and right. It doesn't come with built-in privileges that you can somehow be aggressive.
Yeah.
Towards.
Like if anyone's gonna have that, it's be like brain surgeons or like heart whatever, like because those people are really doing some crazy things,
right,
and saving lives.
But they, it just drives me crazy.
Oh, I'm right there with you. I don't get it.
So don't get me started.
Oh, I know, but it's just stay away, guys. Most of them do.
How about focus on your career?
That's what I say. I was like, you got 2 months of the real season. You literally less than right at 2 months your season starting. Right over 2 months from now, August. So. Right. Yeah, I don't get why, and like I said, why you're even at a festival like that makes zero sense. Why the Cowboys let that even happen. And I'm sure, like I said, you can't hold every player. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, you just figure that they would have someone he's not the punter. It'd be Ezekiel. He's your prime running back. Dallas Cowboys, you better have that's what I'm like. Why don't they just pay some dude like $50,000 a year to be like, hey, here's where Ezekiel's going. He's going to EDC festival. I want to do something about, you know what I mean? Like just to let they know where they're at all times, because that's a lot of money that can happen. And one little snap right there, and boom, he's especially after his pass from he didn't get charged with anything, but the NFL still suspended him for 4 or 6 games. Remember a couple of years ago so something like that happens again, one little snap. Now that's a second offense, so now it's going to be longer most likely this time.
Correct.
A lot of money out of the Cowboys' pocket.
Definitely a dud move.
Yeah, I just don't get it. Even though I guess they're saving money, because they're not going to pay him. But you get my point. You're losing money on the other end, and you're losing games most likely now. But anyway. Game of Thrones. Don't get these guys, and now I maybe think that maybe this season but no. I go back and forth on this. So here, the last episode, they left a water bottle behind. Someone had a water bottle behind. I'm like, so what in the world? Because like I said, I've been on sets, and there is no one ever has any drink. They're not like, hey, I need a drink. Hey, give me a cig real quick. Hey, I need my coffee. Where's my water at? Not ever once did that ever happen. Not once. And if they do, they walk off set and go get it real quick, and they come back over. They're not walking around with water bottles of water on set, not walking around with Starbucks.
Right.
It blows my mind. So that's why I'm like, maybe the season was rushed and they did a terrible job. Because my point being, it brings back to what a petition that is on change.org now, have over 1 million signatures to rewrite and redo the final season.
No kidding.
Yes.
They're all disappointed.
For a lot of them are. Obviously, they got over 1,000 signatures. 1 million signatures. Trying to get to 3 million. It's not going to do anything because they're not going to remake it. Even some of the characters have come out, actors, and like, dude.
It was a big letdown, is what I've heard.
Yeah,
a major letdown.
Super letdown, I guess, for the final season. Yeah. I don't watch it, so I don't get it. I don't understand. I wish Key was here. We could get into that maybe another day when we have him back on. Like, hey, let's get into Game of Thrones. What happened in this final season? What are we missing? And I'll read into it but what?
I'll tell you what's not a letdown. Vandy, Mississippi State.
Oh yeah,
1-0 right.
Yeah,
now.
Right. Yeah,
that's not a letdown.
Baseball game.
That ain't
right
a letdown, bro.
That's and it's gonna be like that till for 5 more innings. Let me let you know. I know how this one ends.
Right.
But I don't know how the Game of Thrones ends, or I don't know how it started either. But yeah, they definitely have had some hiccups. And like I said, I've been on sets before. If they were really, for whatever reason, maybe that's why they were allowing this stuff on set. I don't ever see that ever happening because you'd be seeing it in other TV shows. So I think that was just them just having fun with, and they come out, oh no, we didn't. I'm like, you didn't. You let it out. You saw. I'm done. Just goofiness. Well, I'm glad I didn't watch it. Because I would, anyway.
Waste of time. Better time spent practicing the piano.
I was literally just saying, boom, exactly. Billionaire Robert Smith, this guy. I mean, who wouldn't want that every graduation commencement speech? A billionaire talking,
He gave a great gift, man.
And then giving a gift of a lifetime, saying, hey, all of you in attendance, and even the ones that aren't in attendance, or aren't even going to graduate now because you got to come back to summer class and finish, when they still kind of give you but you're like 1 credit out. I'm going to pay off all your student loans and debt. $40 million worth. 400. That's crazy to think. 40 students, $40 million. 400 students, $40 million. Yeah. That's what that equates to.
But I guarantee you there were some students there that had no student loans.
Or even had like $3,000 worth or something.
Right. And are complaining that, well, wait a minute.
Yeah. Can we just get a check?
Yeah. Come on, man. I don't have a student loan. So that's not, you know what the battle cry is? That's not fair.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's life, though. Life's not fair. Right. So you must have had a better privilege of, parents were better off. So or you just got student. You got
even if you busted your butt and paid for it yourself, right? Yeah. You cannot get upset with one's generosity.
That ridiculous. And to think that one student I remember reading had over $200,000.
Wow.
Because I was reading the article that obviously they did multiple students, but one I remember reading, he was over $200,000 in debt, and he about to graduate. Was finishing classes and everything. He said he came home that weekend before graduation, was going through all his bills, and counted them all up, and over $200,000. He's like, this is going to cripple me for life. I'm like, this was great what I did and all, but now how am I going to repay $230,000 worth of?
That's depressing.
And now that lifted all up. I mean, that's like when literally you've got to imagine, especially for him, that's like winning a $250,000 or $30,000 lottery.
Right.
So congrats though to all those. I mean, and especially to Robert Smith.
Stud.
I mean, a long descendant of mine. I'm sure, hopefully, along down the family, maybe I can get some money from him.
Yeah, right.
Being a Smith, hopefully so. That'd be cool.
He'd be a long descendant, right? Because he's a black guy, right?
Hey. That they always wondered. You should see my dad's darker than me.
Okay, well, hey,
they always wondered, Dad, what are you? And he's always wondered. I don't know if it's an Indian. My mom had sex with a black guy. I don't know.
You better get the Ancestry.com, man.
I know. I need to do that. Everyone says that. I'm like, I really do.
You better.
But see, every time I think about that, I'm thinking they're just going. There may be some cash. I'm just thinking those places are going, oh, thanks for your money. Yeah, you're 29% this, 4% that, 3%. I'm like, how do I know that's for real? All right, let's get on to literally. I shouldn't say get on to literally, because I don't want to get onto it. I hate that this week's show was great. But on next week's show, we got Around the Hornet Sports this weekend.
Oh, man.
We've got a lot of sports to watch.
It'll be awesome.
I know you got a lot of baseball, though, unfortunately. I mean, not unfortunately, because I know you're going to love it out there with the kids. But Indy 500 you're going to be missing maybe this weekend. Yeah. Women's Carl's World Series starts up. Right. French Open starts up this weekend. Right. We got sports all. We got tennis. We got softball. We got Indy. We got Indy racing.
Yeah.
A lot of sports watch. So we'll go over that next week for sure.
Yeah, and I might have I'm working on another special guest, man, that I haven't even sprung on you yet.
Ooh,
I'll talk to you when the tapes are
And we have one in the works too, by the way. Got a couple in the works.
Yes.
So a chef hopefully coming, a former NBA, a former Razorback. Hopefully we can get Pat Bradley on here finally.
We got some.
My dad's gonna join eventually. He's Arkansas Hall of Fame.
We gotta have your dad. We gotta have your dad.
Oh, definitely will. Arkansas. I mean, that's what I told him. I forgot what he said the other day. I guess I'm big time. I'm like, dude, you are Arkansas. If there was a Mount Rushmore of Arkansas radio, your fat head's on there.
Yeah,
and people
right.
are going, man, is he Taliban? Is he black? Is he an Indian? I just.
Okay.
No, I'm not kidding. He's been through so many. Here's how he got his first disc jockey name. He was the Outlaw in the 70s and 80s because he got pulled over. He old school beater car in the 70s. It was hot as could be, no AC. Driving across from Colorado to Arkansas, Oklahoma. He got pulled over. Obviously, tan as can be. Curly hair, big fro back in the day. Leg out the window because he's hot as can be. No shoes on, foot out the window.
Chilling the feet.
They pulled him over. They thought he was probably some Mexican runaway or something. Regardless, that's where he got the name the Outlaw because I forgot that's where that name came about. So he was the Outlaw.
Okay.
Then the whole 9/11 stuff unfortunately happened. So now it's your dad could pass for a damn Taliban man. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. It's always been something with my father. I'm like, what is your dad? And I'm like, man. Because he's got the curly hair, so it could be, Italian. He's like, what are you? We need to do some ancestry on him and then me.
You're like, man, I don't know about his past, and I don't ask.
Yeah, right? He was the Outlaw. That's all I know.
I don't want to go any
stops there.
Yeah, I don't even want to go any further.
Especially when, my teachers would be like in 8th grade, little 8th grade teacher, oh, your dad did my high school dance. I'm like, wow. That's how, in the 70s and 80s, because that's what disc jockeys did.
Right.
God, and then him telling me stories of him getting kicked out of dances. I'm like, wow. Because his friend that he did it with, they did it together, and they caused a little trouble. I'm like, dude, we're at a high school dance. What are you doing? I'm the Outlaw. Come on. NBA Finals will be set in stone next Friday as well. So we'll talk about the NBA Finals next week with all that other stuff. Of course, we got great sporting events going on this weekend. Like I said, the next couple of weeks ahead because we got College World Series, the Women's College Softball World Series, Indy 500 this weekend, French Open, and the 2 World Series will last us for the next 2 or 3 weeks. So good sports going on there, and of course, same with the NBA playoffs. So
awesome. We
got sports all over. We got tennis, we got baseball, softball, basketball.
Fantastic, man.
Oh man, you know what's funny? One thing we didn't bring up today, really, we brought it up earlier. Oh, I didn't bring up what I'm going to do. Memorial Day.
Yes.
Forgot about that. Didn't get into it because that was what I was wanting to talk about. Doing some ribs. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, because I'm so hungry. I didn't eat that much this morning.
I'm getting hungry right now.
I know. Doing some ribs, though. Finally going to do some ribs. I've done ribs on the grill before a couple different ways, but I'm going to do them in the oven this time because I heard they get super juicy. And I watched my man, Matty Madison. I forgot what food. I think it's on Vice Network, but man, he does these little cooking shows. He's so funny. But cooks some of the best looking, the dankest looking, amazing food. So I'm going to do some ribs, make some homemade coleslaw, some baked beans with some bacon. Oh, dude, I'm going to do it up for Memorial Day. I'll probably grill out actually on Saturday. I'll do that on Sunday or Saturday. Do the burgers and the hamburger, or the burgers and dogs.
That's what I'll be eating, man. Burgers and dogs.
Dogs all weekend, I'm sure. I'll be doing that on Sunday for you. I got to get some pictures for Stud and Dud, all the social media, and then we'll send me some as well.
Okay.
And I'll send you some of the ribs. But yeah, we'll get all that on. And don't forget to follow us.
Yes.
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and check out this cool website that Doc's got mastered, studanddud.com.
Which, speaking of that, and again, don't forget, anybody needing tickets in the Dallas area for concerts, events, Darren Laporte on our website. Go right to our page there. He'll hook you up with the tickets you need.
Subscribe to us on iTunes, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Spotify. We're on there now, so you can find us pretty much anywhere. iHeartRadio, iTunes are the main 2 ones, but you can find it. SoundCloud, that's a website. That's everywhere.
That's
Spotify, get those apps downloaded. Like I said, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Stud and Dud, at Stud and Dud. Hey, it's been a great show, Doc.
Man,
Beautiful
Josh,
Friday again.
Awesome,
Time to go get some food.
Let's go eat.
Hey, until next week, thank you all for listening. I'm Josh Smith.
I'm Bob Lawrence.
Peace.